So, what are the 10 things that they don't tell you about retirement? Hi, my name is Jonky. I'm here to just talk about 10 things that I've learned about retirement and the things that just really aren't talked about too much. And I hope this is helpful in your retirement. So to begin, the number one thing is to have a plan, have a bridge for your nest egg that you've spent all these years building, that off your 401k, on what to do with that money and where it's going to go after you work. Most of us have been coddled over all these years and have some kind of pension plan, 401k, and it's kind of been on autopilot. But when we leave work, we're now going to be in control of that. And the idea is to have a plan before you leave your work on where that money is going to go. And typically, you're going to move it into the bank till you decide on what to do with it, whether you're going to buy stocks or mutual funds, real estate, gold, what have you. The idea here is to mention this as number one, is just to have a plan as to where that money is going to go. Because immediately after you leave work, you're going to have to change from saving to spending. And you just don't want to whittle down that principle so quickly while you try and decide on what to do with that money. I can share with you a kind of a fun story. When I was young, at the age of 7, and got my financial advice from my dad, he sat on the edge of my bed and told me that make damn sure your money works as hard as you do and you'll be fine in life. And at the age of 7, and of all the adverbs that one could have picked, he picked damn. And you could have said, you know, it would be a good idea, this would be something that I would recommend you do, but he selected damn at the age of 7. And I really appreciate him doing that. That has resonated all my life, because I don't think you could have picked a better word, because it shows the importance, the urgency that I needed to figure this out. And one of the things, when he was leaving, after he said that, that's all he said, and when he was leaving my room, I said, wait, how do I do this? How do I invest? And he said that he wasn't going to tell me, and that I've got to figure it out on my own. And at the time, I kind of thought that was a little bit cruel, a little bit harsh, but I look back and just really appreciate him doing that, because it's given me the opportunity to spend a lot of time figuring all this out and having some kind of investment plan through my whole life. So thank you, Dad. So you just want to have that in place before you leave your work. Number 2, what is retirement? That's a big thing to say. Everybody has a different answer. I've noticed over the years the different answers that you get when you ask that question. One person in particular said that they were going to do gardening when they retire, which is going to last maybe, let's say, a week, and then what are you going to do? And in their defense, I have to say, though, you know, we don't have a lot of time that we're thinking about retirement. We just know that it's this glorious paradise that we're about to go into after working all this time, and we don't have time to be thinking about it. So in their defense, it's just something that we all have to take some time out and think about. For me, I can share with you that my idea was to sit on a beach, you know, drink a coconut in a hammock, and that lasted for about a few days till you really want to do something with your life. And I think it's something that's really not talked about on what to do. Everybody's looking for direction. We also kind of look as work as not a good thing in a way sometimes. And what I mean by that is we're doing it because we have to. We've got to work for our living. And when we retire, that all changes. We can do whatever we want. And so it's an opportunity. It's a time where we get to use our brain in a way of saying, all these years during our work period, we've been having all these great ideas. This everything that we did was for our work, for them to have provide a shiny new sign for their company. Our bosses having nice cars, nice houses, and now we get to do all this for ourselves. It's not for somebody else. So I think it's important to take this time and to explore all those great ideas that you have and things that you've been thinking about. This is the moment. This is the time where you get to do this. And who knows, you may, excuse me, be sitting on the next Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe or some magic super glue or whatever, the next fashion. But now you've got the time to explore those thoughts. And the obvious question or thought that comes up is, what if I fail? And I can tell you, the worst word that's 100 times worse than fail is regret. You don't want to regret all this stuff that you've thought about but never had an opportunity to explore it. And I can tell you that I've failed many times, as a matter of fact, probably close to 20 times, and I feel good. I feel humbled that I got to try that project, and I do know why they all failed, and I do have a few successes, and it really is, it's rewarding when somebody rewards you for what you've done. That's great, but to fail too is okay. So you just don't want to have that regret. Number 3 is family. This probably should be the number 1 thing on the retirement list. It's really gut-wrenching to have to change your life kind of away from your family if you move out of the country or move out of state or something like that. Not being able to have Thanksgivings or Christmas, those holidays together, in some cases that can change, and it's something can hold you back from exploring other places. In my case, I explored Thailand, and I can say that it was extremely difficult moving away from my family. But the positive, the good news is times have changed. Before, if somebody did that years ago, they kind of get forgotten. They just think that you're on kind of a desert island and everybody kind of forgets about you. But not today. We have now all these great apps, one of which is Line, L-I-N-E, or WhatsApp, or Skype, and many of these you can use for free. There's no charge. You can do video calls, texting, and you are connected. And it's not a problem anymore. As a matter of fact, I talk to my family probably almost every day in America, and it feels like maybe I'm just living in Kansas. It's not really a big deal anymore. So, just to mention, when family comes up, there is a solution to that. The next thing to mention is medical insurance. When we're working, the nice thing is it's all taken care of. We don't have to worry about that. But when we leave work, we're going to have to go out and shop for our own medical insurance, which is a real joy. It's something that you're really going to want to have, and I can explain that more. I know some people choose to pay out of pocket, and that's okay and well, but there's a reason why you do want medical insurance, especially if you go to another country. Where I'm in Thailand, it's very cheap. It's easy to pay out of pocket. It's not really a big deal. A doctor's visit is usually around $30. If you do the emergency room, that's maybe under $100. Tests are at the most maybe a couple of $100. But the reason why you want medical insurance is because it's more of a key to get seen. And you don't have to use it. You just want to show that, and show that you're basically covered, and that way it's kind of a free pass into the hospital. If you don't have it, they can maybe decide not to admit you, and so what I'll do is just save that insurance for something that happens, maybe that's catastrophic, whether you need a brain transplant or a new arm or something like that. Save it for that, and then for all the cuts and bruises and colds and all the superficial things, it's easy to pay out of pocket for that. It's not really a big deal. So just to mention that, it's nothing to really stress about, and it's something that's very doable. The next is travel, flying, and I just wanted to mention that because a lot of people may postpone their retirement to later years, whether it's maybe 70s, and when we get older, it's a little bit of a different story on traveling. It's nice to get there, but doing the actual traveling part is you want to be in shape. It can be tiring. It's not easy, and flying is nice when you go first class. And I know that sounds like you're lavishly spending your money and it's something that I only would do on some special occasion, but in all practicality, it's very beneficial to do that, and it's actually obtainable. In Thailand, the cost of living is between 10 and 20,000. In America, let's say it's about 40, 50,000. So by flying first class, which is about anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 round trip from Thailand to America, you're still under budget by traveling first class. You're still well under $40,000, $50,000. And the nice thing about doing that is the fact that it's got a flatbed. The fact that you can get a good, nice rest makes all the difference in travel. You're not fatigued, and it's just a nice experience rather than sitting up, in, let's say, economy, and maybe getting 3 hours and then wake up and then 3 hours again. You get that broken sleep, which you don't get a good quality sleep. Whereas in first class, or business class actually also, you get that quality sleep, and again, it just makes all the difference to do that. The next is weight management, exercise. So in retirement, the deal is you got to start counting, and you got to start counting calories, something that maybe some of us have never even explored or know much about. I know during our teens and younger ages, we didn't have to think about calories. I don't even know if a lot of us even know what the word meant. But as we get into retirement, that's a must that we have to do. And basically, we want to just know what kind of calories are going in and what kind of exercise program we're doing. It takes about 1,800 to 2,500 calories needed today for the average person. And so if we're going over that, if we like cookies, ice cream, pie, which I all like, it's okay. But the secret is to not make that a routine. Enjoy it once in a while, but not every day. And I think that's the secret to keeping one's weight in check, is just to not have a daily thing of all these great things, just once in a while. And I know alcohol too, that's another contributor, and to try and keep that within moderation also. The other part of that is to exercise, and the obvious is to join a gym, which is all good and well, but there's times where maybe we might not be in the mood. It's raining out. I just don't want to do it. I got other things to do. And if you miss a day, which can turn into a few days, then a week, and then a month, and before you know it, you're not exercising anymore. And so, excuse me, I found the best solution is I went out and bought a spin bike, and I put that in my living room. And it works great on the fact that it's convenient. I've got no excuse for missing exercise day. And I would recommend, if you thought about doing the same, is don't go cheap. Buy a quality spin bike. If you buy something cheap and have it rickety and the pedals, when you're pedaling, that your feet fall off, you don't want that. If you get like a quality bike where your feet clip into the pedals and it doesn't rick, there's no squeaking noises, none of that, it's a good experience. Some people might say it's boring, which sometimes I do agree. But you can sit there with your iPad phone, that can keep you busy, watch movies or what have you, YouTube. Also, it's a moment to get to think. We get to use our brain and just sit there and just do some creative thinking. And for me, I really enjoy that. That's one time in the day that you get to basically think. So I would recommend that, and that keeps the calories, burn the calories. I think it's between 300 and 500 calories for 45 minutes, which helps out on that piece of pecan pie. So good to have an exercise program and also get the diet in check and be counting. Next is housing. And I just bring up housing because if you go out to a different country, there's a lot of questions to ask. If you do that, if you still stay within the United States, and chances are your house is already paid for, which is perfect for retirement, as we all well know. But if you go outside that into another country, I can say in Thailand, the rent is about $300 a month for a condominium, which is shocking compared to let's say California prices. So the obvious would be, should I buy or rent when I'm in another country? For Thailand, if you want to buy a condominium, you can do that. It starts off between $60,000 and $100,000 for a one-bedroom condo. The thing to consider is actually if the building is over 51% Western people, the country can actually come in and take your property. I've never seen that happen, but it's out there. So the question is, how do I know that? How do I know if the building has foreigners or Thai people? And the answer to that is you have to just observe. You could ask the manager, but they're really not obliged to tell you that information. So the best thing you can do is just observe and see, how many Western and Thai people that you would have in that building. The other is you can get a house. You can rent a house, which is very affordable. I think it's also right around $500 a month. Or you could buy, but they don't let you buy land in Thailand. A foreigner is not allowed to buy land. But if you have a Thai partner, they would get the land. They would have the land 100% in their name. You can't even have your name on the land ownership. When you build a house, what most people do is have a 99-year lease, and that way that gives you the rights to stay there over the time. So I know that's not the most perfect situation, but it's a way to own property in Thailand. The next to mention is work. And work, I think, over the years while we're doing it, can have not a very good name to it. It's something maybe we don't want to really do. And when you retire, that changes a little bit. It is nice for the first week or month. We get to sleep in, get to do all those things that we've been needing to do. And after that, there gets to be a moment where you want to do something. And work has many nice things about it. You get to mix with other people. There's that feeling of doing something and doing something good. And it's really actually a nice thing to do because you're doing something that you want to do, not that you have to do. And I can say that actually it's just a nice thing to be doing. If you're thinking about working in another country, there is the laws that you want to abide by. If you work in Thailand, for example, it can be done. You have to have 4 Thai employees, along with paying them monthly, paying their social insurance, which is all doable and can be done. Some people have thought about maybe skating around that and not getting a business visa, which I would not recommend one does, because if they find out, which is very easy in this country to find out, they could politely ask you to leave. So you want to do it the right way if you're thinking about coming to a foreign country, let's say Thailand, to work. But also that is an option. Here, there's endless things that one can do. I can say the most popular is teaching. People teach English. It's probably the easiest entry job. From there, you could explore on just starting and doing your own thing for a future retirement job. So anyways, can be done. So I hope that was helpful, a little bit of insight on some of the things that you don't hear about when you're going to retire, and hope it is very fulfilling and also very enjoyable for you. Thanks for watching.